Let's talk about toxic workplaces. So, what is a toxic workplace? Workplace toxicity refers to a pattern, not just something that happens once, not just something that maybe you went to work one day and it was just a bad day at work. No, it is a pattern of behavior, attitude, and environment. A pattern of behavior, attitudes, and environments that makes the place that you work unsafe, makes you feel disrespected, and makes you feel undervalued. So if you have all these experiences wrapped up in one, in the place you work, my dear, you are working in a toxic workplace, and it's going to affect everything about your life, your health, your interest in the job, your growth at work. Because if you don't have any interest in that job, you're not going to be very focused on trying to grow, and it's understandable. It's expected. So my next video, I'm going to be talking about how toxicity in the workplace manifests. In my former video, I talked about what exactly workplace toxicity is defined as, and I know a lot of people have that experience. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can recognize that the place you're working is a toxic workplace. The first one is that there is bullying and intimidation. You're constantly on the edge because you're being bullied by the superiors, you're being bullied by your peers, you're being bullied and you're intimidated. You're doing things with fear only. With fear. Fear is why you're doing things. It's not because you actually want to do certain things, but you're doing it under duress and under fear. There is constant criticism. The second point is that there is constant criticism without any constructive feedback. You are being criticized from morning till night. Look at you, this one and that one. What did you do? You did this one wrong. There is no constructive feedback. Nothing like, okay, and let me tell you something. If you're a boss, sometimes give accolades to people when you do something right. But some people feel that, I beg, you just continuously talk down on the people that they are working with. When you have that constant criticism and there is no constructive feedback at all, it makes the place extremely toxic. Another very important thing is gossiping and backbiting. That one is, in fact, I should have said that one first. Gossiping and backbiting. You see that thing they call gossip? It's not just innocent chatter. It's not just people trying to bond together. No, it is something that it is a soul-destroying kind of thing. Gossiping and backbiting. You can destroy somebody's self-esteem. You can destroy somebody's entire self-image. You can destroy somebody's reputation. Why? Because you just want to gossip and bond with friends and make people like you, so you concoct stories and you spread. I don't know if I've told the story of how I had that kind of experience. If I haven't, I will tell it on this page. So please do well to follow this page. There is a lot of good information that goes on here. So, gossiping. You go to work, people are acting somehow, and some people go as far as, if they notice that somebody is relating with you, they will go behind and meet that person that is relating with you, and they begin to tell that person things. Imagine what is, and then you notice that that person begins to act weird and begins to withdraw, because that person also feels, I need to be part of a group, especially people who are spineless. I need to be part of a group. So gossiping and backbiting is one of the hallmarks of a toxic workplace. In fact, it is the end. It is the fuel that drives a toxic workplace. Gossiping and backbiting. Another thing is favoritism and unfair treatment. So you notice that there is this worker in your department who does not really produce any results. This person does not make deadlines, does not do anything creative, does not do anything, as in there is no productivity from this person. In fact, you could actually call this person the weakest link in the team and it will be right, and you'll be right. But you see, what happens? The boss favors this person unfairly. All the time, the boss favors this person. And if there is a conference that maybe there's going to be some money involved or some exposure in the career field involved, that person is the person that they will send. Meanwhile, when there is hard work to be done, you and the other hard workers are the ones who will do the work. Now when that is continuous, like I said, it's a pattern. When that happens all the time, it makes the workplace toxic. Then another thing is lack of respect for boundaries. Lack of respect for boundaries. You are in your house, work has closed, and the next thing you get an email or you get a phone call from your boss or your colleagues, or whoever is perpetuating the toxicity in the workplace. This thing was not done. This one was not done. Can you go and do this? Can you go and do this? And they don't care that work has closed and that you're in your house. This is supposed to be your own time, your time with your family. But no, the boss doesn't care. The boss keeps sending you messages. Do this and do that. Another point is lack of communication or being deliberately excluded. it is a sign of a toxic workplace. You go to work, and the only thing that happens is maybe you get to hear about meetings after the meeting has happened, or you get to hear about a planned trip after the thing has happened, or after they have planned it and gone far with it. Lack of communication. Nobody gives you this information. Nobody tells you anything about it, and then you just happen upon the information because maybe there is a cartel in that place and they have decided that they need to ostracize you. Most of the time it happens to the people who are the hardest workers, the people who produce the best results. They are the ones that everybody gathers around and tries to do that exclusion criteria, tries to exclude from things. They won't exclude you when it's the hard work. When it's a hard job, they will not exclude you. Just know that. But when it comes to important things that are supposed to maybe put money in your pocket, or just things that are supposed to bring some positive non-work benefits to you, they will exclude you from it. That is one of the signs of a toxic workplace. They are sending you an indirect message that, look, you are not one of us, you are not part of us, and there's nothing you can do about that. The other thing is micromanagement and lack of trust. So the boss makes it the duty to just hover around you like a helicopter. Just hover around you. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you touching? You touch something. Why did you do this? Why did you? So it's like a micromanagement. They want to see what you're doing and when you're doing, what time you're doing. That kind of micromanagement. It can put you on edge, and it can make you lose trust in yourself completely. And you're like, is it that I'm not doing this thing correctly? Is it that I'm not even able to do anything? I'm not able to handle anything. So that is one of the signs of a toxic workplace. Another one is burnout culture. They believe that working hard, staying beyond the time that you're supposed to stay is normal. Staying beyond the time of your duties is normal. So everybody is overworked, and overwork is seen as a normal thing in that workplace. And in fact, if you notice, in these toxic workplaces, that overwork is just some people who are overworking. Not everybody is overworking. Some people are overworking while others are just, taking things easy, especially those who are the favorites of the boss. Because the bosses in toxic workplaces need to keep one or two people who are loyal to them and help them to perpetuate their toxicity, because they need to, have that, like, they are like the foot soldiers. Supply them any information the staff may come, or anything about the staff, they may supply that information to the bosses. So the bosses will have those people that they are, the anointed ones, while the rest of you are not the anointed ones. So all of you will be working very hard, working very hard, while the other ones are not doing anything. So burnout is seen as a normal thing. You are expected to work and work and work and work, most of the time without any remuneration for that extra time that you put in. In fact, some workplaces are so bad that everything that I have talked about in this video, you can find it there. I've actually worked in a workplace where I can tell you for free that 3/4 of what I have mentioned in this video, I experienced it in that place. I'll tell that story in my channel, so please do well to follow this channel, and I will tell you about my experiences, because I have a ton of experiences. In fact, at the point I was wondering, do these things follow me around? So let's see in my next video.